Hey guys, today I want to talk to you about meal prepping and how to simplify your life because I know meal prepping is the hardest part when it comes to a healthy health and fitness lifestyle. So let's talk about meal prepping and how to just boggle it down and get it on track. So the number one thing we need to do is we need to figure out what we're eating, right? So what I do is I know that I get 4 servings of protein, 3 servings of veggies, 2 servings of fruit, 1 serving of healthy fat, one serving of nuts and butters. So since I know that, I'm going to write down, okay, this is what I get. Now let's figure out how we're going to do this. And I have a little cheat sheet. If you guys ever want it, let me know. I'll share it with you. Or if you already have it, if you've been in one of my groups, it's always in the group, so you guys should always have access to it. So now we got to figure out what we're going to eat, right? What I do, the very first thing I'm going to do is figure out what should I have for breakfast. 90% of the time, I'm going to have eggs. In the morning, I'm rushed. I don't have time. You got to think about your days and how your day goes. So for me, mornings are so rushed. I'm like running out the door to catch a train on time. Eggs are super simple. They're really quick. I eat 2 eggs, which is 1 protein, 1 serving of meat that I get. So there we go. Breakfast for the entire week is done because I'm just going to have eggs every single meal. Now, if you can't do that, maybe try adding in some like veggies or something with it. Mix it up, but do what is best for you, of course. For me, it's just always having the same thing for breakfast. Next, I'm going to figure out my lunch. And usually it's something that I can make that will last me Monday through Friday. So easy because when it comes to meal prepping, if I've got to meal prep 5 meals, 5 different things for lunch, it's going to take all my time. There's no way I'm doing that. So we're gonna eat the same thing. Some of the things that I like that are super easy to make is spaghetti squash. You can have it just like that. You can throw some spaghetti sauce on it, throw in some meat. That gives you some veggies. It gives you protein. There you go. That one's super easy. Let's see, I love to make homemade lasagna. That one's easy. That will last you all week plus more meals. So if you want to have it for lunch every day of the week, and then, well, not of the week, but the weekdays, even on the weekends you want to have it. Or you can have it for dinner a couple nights because that stuff, cheap, easy, and it makes a lot. So those are a couple things that I'll do for lunch that are like my go-tos. I try to mix it up sometimes, especially lately I've been mixing it up. It does get a little harder and it takes a little bit more time, but that's all right. Remember, as we're meal prepping, don't stress. Remember why we're doing this and that it is so worth it. I do mine all on Sunday. If you guys need to split it up and do it in 2 days, go grocery shopping one day and figure out what you're eating that day and then meal prep the next. Go ahead and do that. Okay, so after we figured out lunch, now we got to figure out dinners. I'll do 2 to 3 different meals for throughout the week, and then the weekend something else. So I like easier meals too, because sometimes like maybe if things come up and I didn't get all my meal prepping done, or some meals like you just really need to be cooked that day. I'll have my husband do it. So easier meals are great. Also, freezer to crock pot meals are legit. They are like the thing. So try something like that. If you guys need some tips or ideas on those, let me know. And then you got to figure out your snacks. So it's like whatever I haven't crossed off my list. Like if I still need my fruit, my Shakeology, those go in my snack categories. So now that we figured out throughout the week, that's to me is the most important. But I always want to have them in mind what I'm going to do for Saturday and the following Sunday. Because if I don't, then I'm not on track, right? So I figure it out, but I may not prep it since I'm home. I can get it prepped those days. Bam. Okay, now we figured out our food, right? You wrote this all down? You wrote down what meal you're going to have? You probably have to find the recipes, right? Well, maybe you did it by pen and paper like I used to. Well, what do? You wrote down your grocery list. You wrote down what you're going to eat. So your meal plan. The recipes, you wrote them all down. When you're done meal prepping, you're gonna crumple it up and toss it in the trash, right? Like, oh my gosh, that's such a waste of time. I just threw all that stuff away. And I just learned this and I thought about it not too long ago. This has changed my life. I created a Google Doc where I write down my grocery list, what we're going to have for every meal, every day of the week, and the recipes. Okay, so that gives me 1 week worth of food. 1 week, right there. I've got like 4 go-to meal plans that I can do. Yes, it does add on a little bit of time to your day, but guess what? Next week when I'm busy or I just don't feel like figuring out a grocery list and a meal plan, I've got one I can go to. I can pick out of like 4. And they're all different stuff because I want to make sure that they're different so I don't feel like I'm always eating the same thing. Go back and go to that. Or sometimes I still like, okay, maybe I'll follow all this, but instead of this one recipe, I want this recipe. I'll throw that one in instead. It's like that simple. It's like, why didn't we think of this earlier, right? Why didn't we save our meal plans? That's what will make your meal prepping and your meal planning so much easier. It'll save so much time. So make sure you're holding on to those. Also, maybe, you know what, you never want to figure out what you're eating. Maybe you don't want to write it down or figure out your own meal plan, or like, even though I just explained how I did it, maybe you still don't get it. Like, and that's okay. Beachbody.com, teambeachbody.com, their blog has so many meal plans that you can pull from. If you're in the first category for the 21-day fix meal prep, the second, the third, the fourth, it will tell you if you're following a specific program, it will tell you a meal plan for that and what to eat. Pull from that. More resources for you, less work on your part. The less work, the better, right? Life is so crazy. We are so busy. We just don't have time to do all this. So pull all the resources, or if you're going to do it, keep those resources so you don't have to do it over and over all the time. Okay? Now, for me, this is how I go about it. So I've already figured out what I'm going to have for the week. Now it's time to go grocery shopping, right? We got to go grocery shopping. And sometimes if I've got lots going on, my husband's great. He'll help out and he'll go by himself. Now after we're done grocery shopping, straight home, I clean and wash the veggies and I start meal prepping. Because if I sit down on that couch, it's not going to get done. And you know, sometimes these meals can take a while. If it's in a crock pot meal, I get it going right away. If we're going to have it that night for dinner, or if we're going to have it tomorrow, I can get it started tomorrow. But I try to get everything done, so when I come home from work, all I've got to do is warm it up. Sometimes my husband will do it, but if it's just me, I warm it up. I'm good to go. I don't have to come home, fix a meal after a long day. I'm like, oh, another thing I got to do. One more thing to add to my list. Let me meal prep now. Or cook. Like, I don't want to do that. So let's just get it done and get it out of the way. Just do it all the day you go grocery shopping. Get it over with. Or spend one day doing it. Get it over with. Get it done. And out of your way. So those are my tips, you guys, for meal prepping. Like, keep your resources. That's my number one tip. Find resources. Either find meal plans that you can gather from friends and family that teambeachbody.com have, or keep your own so you can reuse them multiple times. And if you get sick of the meals, just kind of swap them out. One here, one there. That simple. So I hope this helps. I hope this answers a lot of you guys' questions about how I simplify my meal planning, prepping, whatever you want to call it. I hope this really helps. So I hope you guys have a fabulous day. We'll talk to you later.